Yo, howdy, ladies. So this one is for the ladies. Um, this is just one guy's opinion on the dating scene. Um, and let me tell you what this one is about. It's multi-tiered. Um, this is probably one of the most thorough videos I will do about dating, actually. So number one, we're gonna go through the 1 through 10 scale. Number two, we're gonna go through why men don't approach. Third, we're gonna go through ghosting. Boo. Four, we're gonna go through standards. Hey, ladies have standards. And there's gonna be a test there. So that should be pretty fun, you know? Five, we're gonna go through the cost of IG/TikTok inspired dating. Ooh, hey. Six, we're gonna go through high value men. Woohoo, high value men, bling. But we're gonna do some math there. You know, this should be a fun class. Then finally, we're gonna go through the Instagramification/influencer effect on dating. Doesn't that sound like a blast? I think so. Let's get going. But first I wanna tell three stories that kind of set this up. And this is just from content that I've seen online. You know, the TikTok girlies. So one is, and I think these three stories kind of like sum it up because it's these are the main three sort of traits I've seen. Listening to hundreds of women explain how shitty dating is. Okay, these are the three main things that stand out to me. One young lady says, and they all have the same attitude, by the way. I remember to set my clock because I just looked. Good for me. They all have the same attitude. So this chick is like this. She's like, make it make sense, okay? Like girls, like, make it make sense. And she's like 30, talking like this, very mature, you know, very centered, grounded. She says, why, make it make sense. Like, why is it that, you know, the guys I always want, they don't want me. And like the guys I don't want, those guys always want me. Like make it make sense. Like, oh my God, like make it make sense. Right, girls? Boom. Now we're on to another clip. This woman says, ladies, if you ever think you're not gorgeous, it's not that you're not beautiful. I figured it out. It's that, when guys don't come up to you, when they don't approach, it's not that you're not beautiful. Here's what it is. It's that you are so beautiful that guys are scared and intimidated to approach you. That's what it is. It's not that you're not beautiful. It's that you're too beautiful. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Let me add this. Throw this in real quick. You want the worst dating advice, women? You want the worst dating advice? Go ask another woman. Promise you, you'll get garbage advice. Okay. I promise you, you want the shittiest advice? Go ask like a group of women. What does this mean? They'll tell you. You know what I mean? They will tell you exactly what the guys are thinking. And the guys over here like, what? That's not what that means. Here we go, watch. Here's another story, last story, and then we'll get into all that shit. So this other woman, she's like, oh my God, check it out. Oh my God, we were at like a bar the other day, right? Last night, and she's unloading. This is her therapy, which I don't recommend. Okay, I don't, but the girlies do. They recommend go on TikTok and tell the whole fucking world. You know, I don't recommend that. Why not? Because guys might see it, and then they're like this. No, thank you. Uh, but whatever. Listen to these women. So she's like, yeah. So we're at this bar, right? Like me and my girlfriends, right? And we're like, oh my god, we're like so like gorgeous. Like you see what I'm saying? Like look at this. Like we're so stunning, you know. And so I'm away from my phone. I'm doing man shit, you know, getting shit done, building shit, making shit, you know. So I'm like, I gotta see this chick, you know. So I put my saw down. Zzz, what the fuck is she saying? You know, like I gotta see this chick. I'm like, oh my god, oh boy, like so. All right, so you think you're a 10? Gotcha. Like if I'm nice, if she's twisting my arm. What am I? What am I? 5. No, higher. Go. 5.5. That's all I can give you. Like, keep giving me an Indian bird. That's the size I'm going. In good faith. I don't want to get struck by the hand of God or something. I don't want to be a liar. Okay? That's it. 5.5 max. On your best day, maybe you could pull it together and be like 5.7, maybe, but that's it. You know what I mean? Uh, so, so she's like, yeah, I'm there with. I gotta hurry up with all my girlies, you know, and we're all gorgeous, right? And we're there for like oh my god, like an hour, and not a single guy came up to us and offered us a drink or an appetizer or nothing. Like, can you believe it? Oh my god, like I'm so done. I'm so done with dating. Like I just can't. I just can't. You know, like boom, I'm done. Okay, there's my acting of of these chicks. Like, what in the fuck? That's what guys are thinking when if they see this shit. They're thinking, what in the actual fuck? Like these women are so entitled, you know. So I moonwalk back some of the stuff I said, you know, against guys. I'm sorry, I have to. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I forgot the disclaimer. Shit, I'm 7 minutes deep and I forgot the disclaimer. This is not all women. It's some women. It's not all women. It's some, but it's still too many. You know, it's like they think they're like it feels like all women like when you see it feels like all women on TikTok think they're a fucking 10. All of them, 100% of them, and all guys are pigs. You know what? Like for example, right now, I've been home alone. I've been home alone for a week. I know for a fact that I could cheat. I know that. I'm not stupid. I know I could cheat and get away with that. I know it. But here's the thing, I don't want to. They think if you leave a guy alone for a half a second, he'll try to he'll try to fuck something. No, man, that's not true. And like that woman, you know, who's like so gorgeous, she could lay there and say like naked and be like, me, old, 54. She's like 30, probably 6. She could say, I signed a consent. Go ahead. I'm naked. You're allowed. It's fine. Go ahead. I'd be like, no, I'm good. And here's the other thing. Like, this could happen too. This can be a long video probably. I could, you know, like, I can imagine a situation where, you know, a guy. I'll not make it about me. A guy walks up. Hey, what's up, ladies? You know, and she's like, oh my God, no, wait, no. Oh, ick. And they're all their girlfriends are like, oh my God, not even a chance. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, my next sentence was gonna be, hey ladies, excuse me, can I get to the bar? Like, I already have a chick. She's right there. She's fucking gorgeous. And they look over like, oh my God, like, she, you know, and they're all like, she's not, you know, she's not that pretty. Like, but they know she is. You know what I mean? He's like, he knows, that guy, he knows his chick is way hotter than these chicks. And now he made him look stupid. Because he's like, I wasn't hitting on you. I'm just trying to get to the bar to get my lady a drink. That's what I'm trying to do. Not hit on you, not be a creep, you know. Creep alert. No. I'm just trying to get to the bar to buy my lady a drink. That's what was going on. Okay? I put a ring on that one. Hey, babe, hold your ring up. Gleam. You see how it blinded you? Well, I'm good. She's all set. Okay. So I'll take a this and then that for my lady. These are the same. Picture like in living color. So, some of these women, like you put them in like multiple pictures. You know, like they all think they're 10s. You take. I know I'm taking a long time to get to the point, but this kind of is the point. So I'm really not. You know, shuffle. Here's a bunch of pictures, like 10 women. You know, a bunch of pictures. You shuffle the deck really well. Represents every race. This kind of thing. You know, they're all fucking beautiful, right? Black, Asian, whatever. And you put whatever chick in there who thinks she's the 10, and you're like, no, ma'am, like you're maybe a 4. And you show her, you say, do you see, like, do you see kind of like any difference here? And in like how you don't fit in, like that you're not a 10. Objectively, you know, we had 100 men vote on this, 1,000, 10,000. Dated all these are the top ones. These are the ones who won out as 10s. Do you see? And by the way, blind test voted on you, and collectively they gave you like a 5 max. Do you see how you don't fit in? That chick would be like, no, I don't. I don't. I'm a different kind of 10. I'm a different kind of 10. Pushback. They won't believe you. Is this the problem? No. This is just a result of some of the shit I'm going to get to. She won't see it, or she will say, or she will start saying, oh my God, like look, like start trying to pick these women apart. Oh my God, look at her eyes. They're so, what, beautiful? Is that, wait, because that's what all these guys think. Look at her face. It's so like stunning. Like, what are you trying to say? Why are you trying to put these women down now? You know, the flip. Anyway, let's get into this. There's my opening, 12 minutes. Let's get into this. The 1 through 10 scale. So, like, rating 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Men, okay? Women, 10, 9, 8, 3, that. I know other guys have said this. It's not an original thought. So, you know, and I've thought of this before some of these young guys because I was going through that before them. So, if you look at that scale, all of these women want that guy, the 10, all of them. You know, and it's really kind of like the 16 candles moment. You know, think of that. Think of 16 candles. Jake, he's the bad boy. He has a beautiful girlfriend, right? But the only way they can make that work is to make her stupid. And I forget, I haven't seen the movie in a while. And probably mean, you know what I mean? Mean Girls. That's the only way they can make that work. Sidebar, Sherry used to represent Molly Ringwald. Oops, I spilled the beans on that. One of her agents, which she thought was really cool. And so did I, actually. Anyway, so, but look at that. Like, Jake, this guy is in high school, and he has a Porsche red. You know, like this is a bad boy. You know, he's cute. He's a bad boy. You know, this kind of shit, and he goes for her, right? He's driving. We go right back to money and this kind of shit. Looks. We go right back to that. He's got the money, right? He's driving a car that, you know, 16, 17-year-old boys driving a 200, in today's world, like a $200,000 car. He's tall, he's good looking, you know, he could pull hot chicks. We've already seen that. You know what I'm saying? But no, he's gonna drop down. You know, see, that's the thing. That's my point there. A guy that's at a level 10, he doesn't, here's my point. A guy at a 10, there's nowhere higher he can go other than straight across to the woman that's a 10. That's as high as he can go, to his equal. You get it? Where women don't want to do that. No, 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 no. I don't want, no, 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 no. I want the 10. I'm a 5 or 6. I want the 10. I'm a 2. I want the 10. I'm a 7. I want the 10. And this guy's like, I don't have to pick any of you down there. I don't. He's like, not to be rude, but I don't have to. And then there's this assumption that like the prettier you get, the stupider you get. And women think that about other women. That is not true. That is not true. My lady's beautiful. I don't want to make this about me. So I'll do it different. There's plenty of beautiful women who are in high-powered positions, lady bosses, this kind of stuff. Plenty. And who are nice and fun and have a great time with their boyfriend or their husband, and that's how they landed them, because they had the whole package. You see what I'm saying? I don't care how long ago. I think this is gonna be one of my better videos. But, however, I know that I'll be called misogynist, or at least if any woman sees this, they'll think he's a misogynist. I don't think I am. You know, in the same sense that I don't think that because these women went to outer space in their little, outfits, that's not an astronaut. That makes you a misogynist pig, does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. My grandfather worked for NASA. Did I already say this point? I don't remember. It was in my head. I wanted to make sure I said that in this. I might have already said it. My grandfather worked for NASA. No. And sidebar, my grandfather also taught, I forget the name of these women. They're a fairly famous flying team, World War II. He taught them how to fly. He was one of the men who taught them how to fly, and said of these women that they were some of the most dedicated pilots he ever trained. Okay, so no, he's not a misogynist pig. So come on, like some of these women are like, remember that In Living Color skit? Like, come on out and meet the Bachelorette, and they come out and they're like, oh damn, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Every woman thinks she's a 10. Come on out, like Tommy Davidson, like, oh damn, what is that? This kind of shit. Not every woman's a 10. I'm sorry. That's just how life works. Or people would stop you on the street. Oh my God, you're gorgeous. Do you want to come over here? Do you want to be a model? Go prove it to yourself. Go, especially if you're young, go to Ford, go to Wilhelmina, go to Elite, wherever. Go there and see if you get signed. I already know you won't. I'm just being honest. But my point there is, okay, so this guy's the 10, right? So if he goes down at all, this is the woman in the beginning. She's probably aiming for a guy who's a 10. She's a 6. If he's a 10 and he goes down to a 6 to appease her because she deserves him, isn't he settling? You feel me? Then wouldn't that be settling? I would say so. See, women don't like the truth like that. Don't you dare say that. And they know it's true. And they know it's true. Don't have to tell you I love you. You don't know what song that is, right? I did a bad version. I could sing it though. Maybe I'll do it. And post it just to piss people off. So why is it settling for women to go for straight across to, like, if they're a 6 and a guy who's a 6 is like, I'm happy to date you, and the lady's like, no way, I want the 10. How is that settling? You're going straight across, just like the guy who's a 10. He's going straight across. to get his 10. You're a 6, you're going straight across. Women are like, no, 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 no. That's not how it works. Whatever, it's illogical. I'm only on number 2. Why men don't approach. Some of this shit will be faster, but I think that's an important one. Why men don't approach. Because it's simple. Women have told guys, don't approach me. They've made everything misogynistic. If a guy says hi, he's trying to do the R word. You know what I mean? So guys, here's why. Let me nutshell it. Guys don't approach because the number one fear guys have is not rejection. It isn't. The number one fear guys have is approaching a woman and she fucking lies, has him on camera, and tries to spin it into, this guy essayed me. And he's like, all I said was hello. And then the internet goes after him and he loses his job. And he loses his livelihood. That is the main fear guys have, not being rejected. And I'll tell you this too. Guys who are in the 8, 9, 10, women seem to forget this. They're saying, these 10 guys, these 8, 9, 10 guys are afraid of me. That is incorrect. How the hell do you think guys in the 8, 9, 10 pull so many beautiful women? Exactly, because they're not afraid. The math is backwards for many women. They don't think of that. Oh yeah, I guess that's how he got those women. Do the math on it. Women oftentimes, I know shit's gonna get me in trouble. Not all women, some, too many, I would say, go off feelings versus logic, you know. So that's why men don't approach. You want men to approach? Simple. Say, and they're like, I smiled at him though. I smiled at him. You know, and maybe the guy smiles and then goes back about his business. See what an asshole that guy is. Then she'll go on to TikTok. Right, ladies? Like I smile at this guy. Like, how dare him? He didn't even say hello to me. Like he smiled. He didn't even come over and ask me out. Like, what a dick. See, this is what guys are these days. And lady, you don't know the backstory. Maybe he's like, smiles at you and he's being polite. And in his mind, he's thinking, I'm not interested. Maybe he's thinking, I'm a 9, you're a 4. Okay, like, but I was polite though. I wasn't rude. Or maybe he's like, I'm an 8, you're a 6. So he's like, I got room up there. Like, or smiles back, but he's like, I already got a girl and I'm not a cheater, so I don't do that shit. I've never cheated. My homeboy's never cheated. You know, like, it's ridiculous. Or he's like, oh, hi, I'm gay. But she made this whole story up in her mind and then goes on to TikTok and she gets like 1 million likes. And now she feels good about herself. And now she's re-energized to go back out into the world and treat men like this. And then the cycle continues and again, and it spreads wider and wider and wider, where all women feel like this is empowering us. Being alone is empowering us. Let me ask this question, by the way. Why do so many women, like I've never seen TikTok before until like 2 weeks ago. Why do so many women sit in their cars and talk? What is that? Are they afraid that the guy's gonna see their house and it's gonna be a crash site? Is that what that is? I'm asking. There's that trope. There is also the trope of women eating with their mouth full and being a slob. If a guy sees that, the guy who's a 10, the guy who's used to taking women to very nice restaurants that are very expensive, he's not gonna bring that woman around. And by the way, you're not a girl. If you're 30 plus, you're a grown woman. And when I was out there dating, when I went back on the dating scene, I was 39. That was the age I was dating. I was dating like 10 years younger, 8 years younger. My lady's 8 years younger than me. They didn't act like that. You know, and when I got with when I locked it down with my lady, she was 35. She already owned her own house, her own home. My niece is 29. She's owned her house for like 5 years. Okay, like, and then you got some women on there like, oh my God, like I don't know, like I spent my life like sort of like going to like Coachella and like, you know, going to like this, you know, going to these events and like, oh my God, like where did my life go? I feel so like lost. Like I'm like all my girlies were like all leaving at home. Like I just don't know. Like, but I'm so beautiful though, right, girls? You know, but I'm aimless. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with my life. My niece is younger than you and already is married and has a baby and has her guy and owns a home and come on, man. And is beautiful. Come on. You know what I mean? We travel the world. Look at my Instagram. Your Instagram doesn't mean shit when you're alone. I don't believe these women when they say, I love being single. I love it. Then why are they on TikTok complaining about it? The math doesn't math. Okay. So ghosting, let's go there. I'm done with why don't men approach. Just say hi. One woman put it really good. She said, some of these women say really good shit. I think that is actually helpful for women in dating. You know what I mean? And some are the crab in the pot mentality, which is they want to tear you down, bring you back in the pot. What is that? By them commiserating with you, and you're like, I agree, fuck all men. They're just dragging you back into the pot. What happens to the crabs in the pot? They get cooked and they get eaten. Okay? You don't want to be the woman in the pot. You want to get out of the pot, go about your day, and find your dude and live a fucking rad life. And what can you do there when you meet your guy? You can build a life together. Okay? I don't believe all these women saying they hate men. I don't believe it. Okay? I'll get to that later. It has to do with lesbians in a good way. Now I gotta say it. So I might talk about this this other YouTuber, some shit she said, but and in the comments it was all man hate, man hate, man hate. And then there was a lesbian in there. I knew it was gonna be those comments, but in there was a lesbian who said it's she said something like, and the irony is it's the same for me out here. That's it. That's why I know it really was a lesbian, because it's a woman central channel. So guys aren't gonna watch that. There's no guy comments in there. None. That's how I know it's an actual real lesbian. Because if it was a guy pretending to be a lesbian, they would have talked mad shit after that. If it was an incel or a red pill, they would have said, that's the irony, and I'm a lesbian, and fuck all these women and all this shit. So no, it was real. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Two of my besties are lesbians, and I see the drama with their lesbian friends. They still have drama. Like women who are like, I'm gonna be a lesbian and have no drama. That's not how it works. The problem is not with men. The problem is with where our society's at right now. Like what our society places value on. That's the problem right now. Not gender. In my opinion, I'm one guy with one opinion. I don't care if the whole world disagrees with me. I know I'm right. So I want to get back to what that one woman said. Then we'll get to ghosting. I'm gonna go an hour. Who cares? This is back to why men don't approach. One woman said, you can walk down the street and it could be like Tinder or whatever app. You know what I mean? Like if you're walking and you pass a guy and you both turn around to look at each other, there you go. Match. You know, I thought that was clever, and I agree. In that case, now it's up to the guy. If the guy turns around and she's looking back, then it's up to the guy to be like, wave to her. You know what I'm saying? And women could say, that's cheesy, that'll never work. If you turned around and you like this guy, I guarantee you it'll work. What are we talking about? So, but then it's up to the guy to, and then she's probably gonna smile coyly, and now it's up to the guy to approach and initiate the conversation, right? Or another thing women can do is, this might sound absolutely crazy, is if you see a guy, say hi. Women ask that question all the time. How do I do it? How do I like this one woman was talking about, should I change my hair? Should I change my makeup? Should I get plastic surgery? Swear to God. Should I do this? Should I do that? No. What you got to do is say hello. That's it. And you'll know immediately if that guy's into you, because he will be like, okay, so it's okay to talk to you. Great. So now I'll take it from here. Hey, what's your name? Like, do-do-doop-to-do, and then do-do-doop-to-do. And if he's interested, he'll definitely ask you out, because you took that force field off of yourself to say to the guy, it's okay, you can talk to me. I took that away. Some women don't want to do that because they want to be the rejectors, because they can't handle rejection. You know, I'll get to that. That's next in ghosting. So there you go. Just say hi to a guy, and he, you know, a lot of younger guys, like I'm talking about like 30s now, early 30s, that demographic, late like 29 to like 35. If you walk past the guy today and said hi, he'd probably be like, what? Like, he'd probably be like, his first thought is like, was that for me? Like, or and he might look back like, be confused, like, is she talking to someone? Like, does she have an earbud in and I'm on the other side, she just has one in? That's probably what a guy's gonna think. Oh, is she on the phone? You're saying hi? Hey, girly. You know, that's his first thought. Probably not that you're talking to him. So if you turn around after you say that, then he's gonna know, oh, you're talking to me. Gotcha, all right. So if he doesn't turn around, if he says hi back and he doesn't turn around, he keeps it pushing, he could already have a girl, or he could be gay, or you don't know his story. That's not a reason to jump onto TikTok and be like, I said hi to a guy and he didn't even say shit to me. He might have thought you're on the phone. You know what I mean? Or he wasn't interested, or he's gay, or whatever his story is, okay? Like, you can't, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that kind of attitude's not gonna help you out in the world, because you're gonna bring that negative energy out. We'll get to that. Ghosting, this is in that. Ghosting, why do guys do it? You know, women wanna know, why do guys ghost? They ghost, here's the most simple I can say it. They ghost because they don't wanna hurt your feelings. Women are like, I can take it. That's such a pussy answer, right? If you said, no, I want to know. Like, no, tell me. I deserve to know. I want to know. Like, tell me everything. Okay, like, and they'll be like, we went out, he asked me out, we went out, we made out, you know, like, he told me he was into me, this kind of shit. And then we went out on another date. I thought it went well. And then we made out again. And then he just ghosted me. What's with that? I'll tell you what's with that. What's with that is he probably went out with you, thought he liked you, you know, first night. Oh, this chick's cool. But like me and my homeboy, this is a real conversation. We're grown men. Real conversation. I don't want to forget that part. Real conversation. Let me tell this part and then I'll get into this. But for example, I recommend do not do this to guys. His ex told him, you will never leave me, you fucking pussy. Oh, the ultimate disrespect. The worst thing you can do to a guy is disrespect him. I wouldn't recommend that. And he was already like, here's what I'll say. Did he cheat? Definitely not. If his ex happens to be watching this, he definitely did not cheat. He would 100% tell me. Guarantee you. He's got a big mouth. He'll tell me. You know what I mean? Like, no, he didn't. But it was shit like that where he's like, he sucked it up for the kids. Otherwise, he would have been gone, dude. We could go into a whole conversation right there about, he knew as soon as these kids are out of school and shit, I'm out of here. Fuck this. He's already dating. His divorce is not even like super finalized yet. He's out of there. And she thought she had him trapped. You'll never go anywhere. I got you. I'll spend whatever I want to. And you can't do shit about it. He's like, yes, I can. I could just rip the Band-Aid off and I know you're gonna get half the shit. Even though guys like that, I wanna take it off my friend. Even though guys like that are thinking, I made most of the fucking money. Come on. You know, but you're still getting half of everything. So you made out, I didn't. Like if the courts would cut out like, you know, I get what I made versus what the percentage, then the women would get way less. You know, but that's not how the court works. So I'll touch on that for half a second and say, I recommend prenup, bro. Like, I know girls don't want to hear that. What? No. Don't listen to this guy. No, 100%. If you're a young guy, I would recommend absolutely a prenup. And see, that's the thing is like, for the guys who are 10s, women will say, I would never sign that. The guys who are 10s could be like, cool, then I'll just move on to another 10. You know what I mean? Because I'm at the top. No girl's gonna stop me. Like the guys who are 10s they know that. They know they got the whole package. They know that I'm gonna win no matter what. No woman can stop me. I'll just keep moving on until I find, you know, or they'll just be like, no, I just want a girlfriend. Like, you can live with me. I'll pay for, like, those rich guys. I'm not talking about myself. Those rich guys will be like, yeah, you can live with me. This kind of shit. I'll buy you shit, whatever. You know what I mean? The ones who want to be pampered. But there's plenty of women who are like, no, I don't want to be pampered. I got my own life. You know what I'm saying? I got my own money. I got my own life. But some of these women do, especially now how the economy's going. You're going to see that go up more. You know, and it's disgusting. Like some of these women are saying like, whoever pays my bills first wins. And this is a white girl, blonde hair. This is not, you know, listen, that guy who's a 10 is not gonna pay your light bill. The only thing that means if a guy is willing to pay your light bill and you're on TikTok talking shit about like how much you're using him, that is the definition of a fucking simp. It is. You know who the biggest simp in the world right now today is? Jeff Bezos. Letting his girl make a fool out of him like that. I'd be like, you're not wearing these stupid ass costumes. That's not gonna happen. And make a fool out of me so you can giggle in space, barely into space, you know, for like 3 minutes. No, that's not happening. But he fell for it because he's in love. I would have been like, that's not happening. Sorry. I need to speed up. So that's why you're getting ghosted, because the guy goes out with you. He's checking you out. Like she's cool. Like what my homeboy's saying. Like she's cool. But after that, it's like she's cool in certain ways, like really cool in certain ways. But there are red flags, you know, and you know, like that. Like my homeboy's telling me about this shit. We'd have conversations for like 2 hours, going super deep about shit, life, everything, vulnerable, all this shit. He's my best friend, and I'm like, yeah, man, those are red flags, dude. You know, he's like, what do you think? I'm like, yeah, definitely. You know, those are red flags. So he was like, I don't know if I want to like talk to her about it or, you know, and I'm like, you've only been on like 5 dates. I wouldn't bring it up. You know what I mean? Just play. If you like this chick, like, But he's at that. He was at. I don't know what's going on. I haven't talked to him in a week actually because he's been away on a trip. But he was at that point. He was like, should I just tell her like I think we're in two different places, or should I just ghost her? Like, but he's like, I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to tell her, but I don't want to hurt her feelings. Like, so he was like mixed feelings about it. That's why guys ghost, because they go out with you and they think they like you at first, and then they think maybe she just had a bad day. And that, for example, maybe she's negative. You know what I mean? This chick is not. She's the opposite of that. That's not his problem. I'm not talking about my homeboy. But maybe you go out with her, she's negative, and she seemed nicer at first. Now she's a bit negative, and like maybe it was just a bad day at work or something. Then you go out the next time, and she's even more negative. And she starts dumping about her baggage, her past, like how, whatever shit, her ex or some shit, like whatever weird shit. I never talked about that kind of shit on dates, never. And I never had that happen to me, by the way. Like, well, maybe a couple times. You know, like I dated so many chicks, it's hard to remember. I don't want this to be about me, but I know that happens to guys, and that's a reason. Like there's stuff stacking up where they're like, you know what, like it's a no for me. Even though I just made out with her last date and I thought I was into her, and the more I think about it, it's a no. And so then they just rip off the Band-Aid because they don't want to hurt your feelings. And it's like, I can take it. Okay, here's what he thought. I liked you at first, and then I realized you have a lot of red flags and you have a lot of baggage that you haven't worked through yet. Even though you've done all your breathing and your yoga and your whatever else you've done, you drink your matcha and all this kind of stuff, you know, like the woman routine of like, I'm what do they call it? Self-care. Even though you've done all that stuff and you do it every day, you're still not healed. That's just masking what is really going on with you, because it's coming out on the date, right? And it's coming out in a very negative way, and I don't want to be around that. You think you're done working on yourself, and you're not. So for me, it's a no. And all that stuff totally turned me off. It did. It totally turned me off. I don't even think of you now as a woman I would put on the roster. Number one, you're not girlfriend material to me. No, I would never have you as my girlfriend. No way. And you're definitely not someone I see wifing up, putting a ring on that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so at the end of the day, I don't even want to have sex with you. If you begged me to have sex, I wouldn't. That's how turned off I am. So instead of saying that, and actually in different light, you look different and not as pretty to me, if I'm being honest. So it's a no for me. But I didn't want to tell you that. So what I did is I just didn't respond. If you told a woman that, I guarantee you, she will be like, she'll have some words for you, and then she'll go home and she will cry. I fucking guarantee you, and it will fuck her up. So that's why guys don't say what they're thinking. And they just say, I'm just gonna walk away, I'm just gonna ghost. Because I don't wanna get in that conversation of, why? Just tell me, I can handle it. No, you can't. No, you can't. Okay? So, when guys ghost you, you know, come on, you're in your female empowerment phase, so just let it go. If you don't care, why are you complaining about it? If you don't care, you wouldn't even mention it. You wouldn't go on to TikTok and broadcast this to billions of people. You would just be like, okay, like, I get it. He wasn't into me. For whatever reason, he's out. And you just walk it off. But you want to know why, right? So you can try to fix it or what? Like, who cares? Standards, let's get to that. I'm gonna go long on this shit. I need to hurry up. Standards. So women have standards, right? The first thing I want to say is like, they don't realize that, oh, I forgot. Like, guys have standards too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's why you have a bunch of women on TikTok saying, I don't understand why these guys aren't going for me, because they have a standard. It kind of looks like this to me, the landscape. The guys who are 9s and 8, 9, 10s, they're out doing their thing. And because it's kind of a curve where when you get into like lower than that, like let's say like 6'5", then those guys are kind of like pushed out because all these women want the 8, 9, 10s, but the 8, 9, 10s are already busy with women and everything's basically going fine for them. And then the 6'4" guys and below are kind of assed out, and so they're like, those are the guys that are just pulling away. Then it's being, you know what? I'm just gonna go work on myself, get rich, and then get someone later. For example, would you date this guy? He's a guy. He's mid-20s. Like let's say, even if you're older, would you have dated this guy? He's pushing a broom around a job site. People are sweep that up. He's a grunt. Would you have dated that guy? Probably not, right? Probably not. That's my homeboy. That's how he started. What does he do now? Now he's the boss. Now he runs that. When I said he builds $50 million buildings, I mean he's the boss. He's the guy that tells everybody, hundreds of people, what to do. Here's how we're gonna build this building, guys. He's the boss. He doesn't get his hands dirty. He's not out there with a shovel. No offense against those guys. You got to start somewhere, right? And then if they see him, a woman sees him driving in his company truck, like logos on the side and shit. Ooh, never. I would never date a blue collar guy. He's got money, Now he makes hundreds of thousands a year. He's got a sports car at home. He's not gonna take you out in the truck. You know what I'm saying? Jump in the whip. You know what I'm saying? 6'4", in shape, especially for our age. He's in better shape than me, for sure. Better shape than like most like 20-somethings. So, yeah, a lot of women are like, ooh, good-looking dude, makes money, this kind of shit. He's a catch, man. Anybody want him? Any ladies? I'll hook you up. So standards. I gotta hurry up. Standards. But I think all this shit. Maybe women think none of this is helpful. I think it is, because I'm just telling you how guys move. Standards. So their standard is it has changed from 6 figures. Now it's a lot of women. Now it's 7 figures. Now it's forget being 6 foot. Now they're like, he's got to be 6'2" or higher, but not taller than 6'4". So you got 2 inches to play with, and you got to be above $1 million. And they want to go. They want to take all these trips, and this guy buys them all these bags and all this kind of shit. Let's go over what their entertainment cost is, because they have standards, right? That's really my point here. These women have standards, guys. Even though they live in an apartment right now and can't barely afford to pay their rent, and they got boob lights and shit. Do you know what a boob light is? It's like the cheapest builder grade, apartment grade light you can possibly buy. It's $20. They got plastic blinds, and they're demanding a guy who makes above $1 million a year. Let me show you the lifestyle that they want, and let's break down how much that costs. So they want to go to Bora Bora, right? They want to go to Bora Bora every year. I want to go to my standards are. Let me explain what a standard is. A standard means the norm, like meaning that's what you're used to. So let me ask you first of all, before we go through the price of all this shit. How many, and some of them say like, when I say 7 figures, I mean like 5 and above. So let me ask you, how many men have these women dated that make 5 million or above? Any? Like pick your last 3 dudes you've dated. Did any of them make 5 million or more? If not, then that's not your standard. Here's the test, okay? How many of the last 3 dudes you've dated made $1 million or more? If no one, then that's not your standard. How many of them have made half a million or more? If no one, then that's not your standard. You get where I'm going with this? $250,000. No one, then that's not your standard. 100 grand, then that's not your standard. Below that, wherever your last 3, the median income from your last 3 dudes, figure that out, that's your standard. As an empirical fact, what they're talking about is a hypothetical, mythical fantasy dream. That's what they're talking about, is their standard. It's hypothetical. In Magic Land, they've never experienced that. So, but let's do the math on how much does that cost for their dream. They want to, let's go here. So they want to go to Bora Bora, Paris, New York, all this kind of shit, okay? So let's go to Bora Bora first. Okay, so that's $5,000 a day, right? Where they want to go. They want the glass bottom shit, all that. The dream, vacation. My lady wants to go there. I don't give a fuck about going there. But I might, but I don't care. Why? Because there's no waves, dude. A surfer knows. So here's what it costs. $5,000 a night. You got to go for 7 nights minimum because you don't want to waste that flight for no reason, right? So 5 nights, $5 grand. We're at 35,000 plus taxes and fees and ground fees and all that. Boom, we're at 40 grand. So add the flight to that because they got to fly in the little pods because they got to get their beauty rest so they look beautiful when they get there. So add another 30 to that. Then let's add let's say 5,000 for miscellaneous. So that trip is $75,000. Now for $75,000, we've knocked a week out of entertainment for the year. Now we still got to go to all the $300 restaurants as baseline, right? They won't go below that. So that's the standard for every weekend, right? But then sometimes they got to go higher just because they feel like it. Like I said, the other restaurants that are $2 grand and not $2 grand, yeah, $2 grand. For a couple, they want to go to that here and there, you know what I mean? Not for any special occasion, just because. And then on any important Valentine's Day, anything like that, they want to go higher. We're talking $5 grand. Plus they want jewelry and shit, I saw one where a woman broke up with her dude on Valentine's Day because he only spent $2,500 on the meal and bought her a bracelet for 10 grand. Fuck him. What a rude thing to do to me. You know what I mean? This is women nowadays, man. Some of them. So we still got to go to Paris. They want to stay at the St. Regis or the St. whatever. And that's $2,500 a night. Let's say they want to stay for 11 days. Plus they want to shop. That trip is 20 grand. They want to go to New York. They want to go, stay at the St. Regis there. Boom, boom, boom. And then they want to go shopping. They want to go, Broadway. They want to do this, that, boom, another, 20 grand there. And that's just, so now we got a couple main trips out of the way. And maybe they want to buy some shit for the house while they're in Paris. Ooh, look at that chandelier. It's 10,000. I want that. 40,000. I want that thing. Boom. Okay, because they want to go to that one shopping area, right? It's super fucking expensive. There's nothing in there for under $10,000. Now they want to go, what else? Now they want to do little jump outs. Let's go to Vegas, but let's stay at the Aria Panoramic Suite. I've stayed there plenty of times. It's over $1,000 a night, plus ground fees, plus this shit. Let's just jump out for 5 days. There's over 5,000, 6,000 on the room, plus all the pool, day beds, all that shit, easily you could go to 10 grand there. Santa Barbara, they want to stay in the best place over there. They want to go to, I feel like lounging in San Diego at the best spot though. Let's go to Orange County and we'll go to Laguna or something, stay there, staycations, a bunch of those. All added up, we're pushing $175,000 and no bills have been paid yet. The light bill has not been paid yet. So my point there is when they're saying I need a guy, my standard is I want a guy who makes $1 million a year so I can go do that shit. The guy who makes $1 million a year, plus all their bags, we forgot about the bags, the Birkin, the Dior, the this, the that. Yeah, like this is adding up fast. That guy who makes $1 million a year can't afford that lifestyle. He cannot. That's what they don't understand. Sure, he makes $1 million a year and he gets taxed the fuck out. And now you want him to spend 200 grand like on shit and the bills haven't been paid yet? Do you get it? Women don't do math on this shit. That guy can't afford that lifestyle. And you live in an apartment, so you don't even deserve that shit. What makes, like, these women, I deserve it. Why? Because you're born? Sorry, I disagree. But I just want to give you some math so you understand, like, that guy can't even afford that. Cost of Instagram/TikTok inspired dating. I think what happened there, I don't care how long ago, I think what happened there is women saw all this Instagram shit, and men don't really look at that shit. I don't think. Are you? Like this is all news to me that like all the unboxings and all this crazy shit, all this, you know, just overspending on nonsense. You know what I mean? Like women will have channels about, here's my haul today. You seen this shit? I first saw this shit like 2 weeks ago. Look at all the shit I got. Look at it all. You know, and women are watching this shit, devouring this kind of content, and it's fucking with their head, and they're thinking, I want that life. I want that life. You know, ooh, look at my bag. Ooh, oh, and here's what I would say too. There's some guys in on this, and they're like, and she's like, oh, my sweetie, oh, my honey, he got me the Birkin I wanted, and he's in the video like, I did. That guy's a fucking simp, bro. I would be like, we are definitely not. Even if I got someone my lady a bag like that, she would never be like, let me TikTok that and prance in front of all of these ladies and try to make them feel jealous. Ooh, look what I got. I'd be like, absolutely not. First of all, you're not getting that bag because you ruined shit really quick. You're from a farm. You don't need that shit. You know? She could have a way nicer car, but I suggested, you fucked your BMW all up. Like, well, maybe you don't really give a fuck about cars anyway. Like, so anyway, where was I? So I feel like those women, they, you know, that's one of the differences. Like when I was dating, 10 years ago, Instagram was around, but it hadn't like turned into like this influencer like craziness yet. It was about photography, this kind of shit, and so now women are seeing this content and they want to be that. Imagine women who are like, they're like 29 right now or 30 right now. 10 years ago, they just barely got out of high school, and they've seen that trajectory of in their formative years of, consumption, just the consumption generation. And I want everything now, and I want the best, even though I don't make that much money, and so then a man should pay for that shit. You know what I mean? Because I deserve it, because I'm a 10, and what I bring to the table, nothing. Did I say that already? I forget. Pardon me if I did, but it bears repeating. But it bears repeating now. Nah. So when they're going for those guys, those guys with the 10s are like, my table is $50,000. What are you talking about? And I have multiple homes, and every single one of those homes has a $50,000 table, and they're all fucking custom. What are you bringing to the table? Myself. You're lucky to be in my airspace. Women are saying this crazy shit, thinking that like, my question is, do women think guys are buying that? Or are these women just looking for attention from other women and getting their validation that way? Which goes into the psychology of the Instagram. They see that life, they want that life, constant trips, constant bags, constant shit that doesn't fucking matter. And then when they don't get it, then they go on to TikTok to use that as their therapy because they're not getting this stuff. And really what they're trying to achieve is a shopping addiction. It's insanity. And then they're gobsmacked when no man wants to be that guy. Not even simps. But they think, no, I'm gonna get a solid guy who's super attractive, and he's gonna do that. You're never gonna make a guy who's an 8, 9, 10, you're never gonna bend him into being a simp. It will not happen. Why? Why not? Because he doesn't fucking have to. He's got too many women throwing themselves at them, and he's saying, no, no, you, yes, no, no, yes. That's how he is. He's like a fucking rock star. And he's not even a rock star. He's not famous. You know? Like, let me wrap this shit up. High value men. Let's do the math on that. So I think we kind of did the math on that. Like, so basically, they want a dude who makes $5 million a year, right? And so let's do the math on that. What percentage of men make $5 million or more a year? The answer is 0.1% of society, of the US, right? Now they want them to be tall, right? Now, where are we at? We're at 0.001%. Now they want him to be handsome, you know, look like he stepped out of a fucking watch ad, you know, GQ or something. So now we're at 0.0001% of the United States. Now they want him to be in shape. Okay, so now we're at 0.00001% of society. Now they want him to have hair. Now we're at 0.00001% of society. Now they don't want gray hair. So now we're at 0.0000001% of society. You see what I'm saying? Because most dudes who have money are older. I don't want an old, ugly guy. Like, I don't want an old, like, sicko. That's where most of the money is. Do the math on it. Go pull up stats on the shit. Like, so narrow it down and keep going with that. And that's their baseline that they think they're going to get. That's not going to happen for you, man. Because they don't want, like, exclude anybody who's older, gray hair, bald, doo-doo-doo. You're getting down to, in that certain age range, you're getting down to maybe there's 10 guys available in the entire United States. And what are the odds that one of those guys is going to be into you? This much? Can't even see that much? Smaller than that. You need a microscope to see that. I need some water. But they're like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm going to find him. Good luck is what I would say. Good luck. Good luck finding that guy. And that's based on a true thing a woman said. And guess what her stats were, right? Her stats were 31, white chick, 31, living at home with her parents, no job, seemingly ambitionless. What else? Clearly overweight, no face privilege, and has a fairly newborn child, like 2. Like, we can't figure out what guy she was, an illegitimate child. The father's gone. We can't figure out what type of dude is her standard, her norm. We can't figure that out. I can picture exactly who that guy is, who the father of her child is. I can picture exactly who it is. She's gonna get Chris Hemsworth now. She's gonna go from that to Chris Hemsworth or some shit like this. Some of these women are delusional. Like they need therapy, not a boyfriend. I think I've gone long enough. The Instagramification slash influence effect on dating. I think I kind of covered that. It's just kind of fucked it up and made women believe that they can that dude is easy to attain, whatever their dream guy is. Like he's right around the corner. Like, why can't I find him? Because there's only 10 of those guys in the entire United States out of 300, whatever, 56 million people or whatever it is. And these same women are making fun of the passport bros. When the passport bros are like going to like Poland or something like this and getting beautiful women who are like nice to them. And those women they're gorgeous. And so I dated a Polish chick, actually. She's fucking stunning. And nice and all that shit. She's the one, the Vegas chick. You know what I mean? I guess that's not dating, but like I messed around with her. And she was pissed that you know, whatever, that I brought another chick around. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm done there. My point is, I don't know what's going to happen with the dating world, you know. But I think there's a lot of women, too many, that are looking for a guy that doesn't exist, and they refuse to admit that. They refuse to admit where they are in life. No way, they won't do it. So, but on the flip side, I think plenty of guys who are sort of, and I don't mean anything bad about whatever, like just in that 4, 5, 6 range, 7, you know, that would be happy to be like, okay, it's a truce. Like, you know, I'll treat you well, and let's have a life together and build that. But there's too many women that are like, absolutely not. I have standards, and that's where I wanted to go with this woman. Is I thought she was level-headed. I thought so, and I was watching her content, and then she did a video about this, and her video is half as long as mine because I don't want to do this video like multiple times. But her conclusion was that she had done all the self-work that she needs to do. So she's kind of perfect now. Because like I said, she's done all her yoga and her breathing and her whatever shit, you know what I'm saying? Which guys don't care about. You know who cares about that stuff? Women. You tell a woman, oh, I'm doing this. I'm on this diet or that diet. Like, women go through so many fucking diets, it'll make your head spin. So women care about that stuff, not dudes. No, they don't care. That's not what will give. A dude will not see that as value, that you did breathing. Most of them. You know what I mean? A dude is pretty simple. I want a chick who I think is pretty, and that's the other thing, the whole makeup thing that's out of control. My lady looks beautiful, and do guys hit on her still? Absolutely. Guys that are way younger. What does she use on her face? That's the other thing I was gonna say about TikTok is you see these women, they're all complaining about how shitty guys are, and they're putting on like 40 products. My lady uses 3. She uses a light, what do you call it? I should know this shit because when I modeled, I had to buy my own and do my own makeup base, and then if they wanted to fuck with it, what do you call that shit? You know, you ladies know what I'm talking. People, they know that shit. And then a mascara, and then a lip stain. That's it. Women look way prettier to guys when they take all this shit off. and some women swear to God, there's been like the before and after picture where some women look like, oh my God, like, holy fuck. That's the thing. You go on these, dude takes you to Bora Bora or some shit like this. You're gonna have to swim in the water. Your face is gonna come off. You're gonna come up like a manatee, and your dude's like, what the fuck? Where did my lady go? Did you eat her? You know? And she's like, no, it's me. He's like, what? Like an oil slick around you guys. You know what I mean? Like, just be yourself, man. Some of these women look way better when they take their makeup off. You know, and that's what I got. Oh, now the guy's like, oh, so that's what you look like. Cool. Like, wear makeup if you want, whatever, but just tone it down. It makes you look older, actually. 70 minutes. Should I post this? It's probably too long. Picture it as a, I don't care if you watch the whole thing. Picture it as a, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Picture it as a podcast. People sit here and listen to podcasts for 3 hours, so I figure 71 minutes, that's not that long. So anyway, that's my thought on dating. You know, and I would recommend, I'll stop it. I'll recommend for women, I'd recommend just chill out a bit. You can't say that, they'll stab you. I don't care, I already got my girl, I'm good. Give these guys a chance, man. There's so many good guys out there. That's what I can't believe. There's so many good guys out there. And you can build something with them. And what happens, there's my last thing I want to say. What happens when you break up with that guy because he's a millionaire, right? And he fucking loses his business. Something happens in the economy. He loses his fucking business. He goes to zero, you know, and then you fucking dump him. And then he's like, fuck this, I'm gonna rebuild. And then he comes back and he's 10 times as rich as he was. He had $1 million, now he has 40 million. You gonna want him back now? And he's like, I'm long past this chick, long past her. And you will see women crying about this shit. I shouldn't have left my husband. I left him when he was down, and he fucking built himself back up, and he got a gorgeous woman who's 10 years younger than me, who supports him through thick and thin. You know what I mean? That's what these guys will do. And they won't ever take you back. Think about that. Peace.